something right, you
yeah.
know.
That's the idea behind the marriage.
But the thing is, why women are so loud when a man does it, when their friend does it, they know the friends who are doing it. But so my point again is, it takes two.
Yeah.
It takes two. When a man is cheating, 99.9% of the time, he is cheating with another woman.
Yeah.
So why are women so hard on the man, but not on the woman who made it easy for the man to
yes,
cheat?
I'll tell you why. I think that for me, I think there are two reasons, right? The first one is, for lack of better words, I feel like in the olden days, right, women were sort of like the oppressed group where they were always told, oh, men there, that's how they are. Men cheat. Even though I'm sure back in the day, women were also cheating. It was like this rule that like our mothers endured. So because of that, when feminism came, women got educated and realized, hey, I don't have to take this. It's like, and you know, women are already emotional and vocal. So it's like when a man falls into that stereotype, then it's like, I said it, they said it. So it's like they want the world to know that, you see, he has done this, even though his vow said this. And as JC said, with the men, it's like,
We
they'll
just,
see it as,
like, keep it under wraps.
So that is why I think the women do that.
Yeah.
Because every woman, as a friend of mine will say, when people are getting married, everyone believes they are marrying their best friend, and everyone believes it's their marriage that is going to stand the test of time. I don't think anyone gets married thinking, I'm going to divorce in like the next 5 years. So it's like there's high hopes. People believing their spouses or their boyfriends and girlfriends are gonna be okay. We are talking about women. Women believing their husbands or like their boyfriends are gonna be different, and then it happens. And then now they want everyone to know that he did this to me, even though I was like
The best person.
Yes.
Yeah. Do women ignore red flags even in marriage? Even before they get married?
Let me be the first to say it, and it pisses me off. It pisses me
because
off.
you know,
I don't know why.
Your friends, you know?
Yes, I don't know why there's the mentality that, oh, let us marry. When we marry, things will be fine.
Okay, we can fix it.
It gets worse, and I haven't even been married, but like I can see the pattern. Because if currently JC and I, we've been dating for 3 years, we've known each other for 4, so I can say, even though staying together is different, like you need to stay together to really know the person, I can clearly say that there are some flaws of his I'm aware of, and in the back of my mind, these flaws, I need to understand that if we get married and they get heightened, I knew it was there. So I'll have to deal with it.
Okay.
So for example, if JC was a chronic cheat, like, and I knew it, and like I keep forgiving him, and let's say JC keeps coming and telling me he's sorry, it won't happen again. But it has happened more than once. And then maybe getting to the marriage, it seems like he has not done it. I feel like the woman, it's not even the man that is to blame, it's the woman that is to blame. Because how do you know that the person is a cheat and you want to get married and you think that miraculously?
Well, on that note, guys, welcome to the healing table with the mushroom chairs, guys. Happy for you to join us.
We're so glad to be here.
You know, and today we are talking about, am I on camera? Rich, are you sure we are recording? I think so. We are talking about relationships.
I don't think we're recording.
It's not on. Let's see. Rich, are you sure?
Is the transmitter connected?
Yeah, it's recording, but I can see
the
one
mic.
Of them. Oh, yours just came on.
Yeah.
So let me turn this on. This power.
But it's blue instead of green.
Yeah, it's blue. Yes, mine is blue.
Okay. Doesn't mean it's recording.
It's on. This one is not coming on. Oh, it's on now. No. So, all right, guys. Hopefully, we picked up on that side. If not, that's what it is. So, welcome again to the healing table with the mushroom chairs.
Yes.
So, it's very amazing having you guys here. It's been a beautiful day. Yeah. We've had a good time. Today, we are talking about relationships. And we started by saying that why is it such big news when a man cheats? But when a woman does it, it's normally kept under wraps by females as well as
Yeah.
males. Okay? When a male cheats, normally the male will keep it under wraps, but it's the females who would just blow it out of
Yeah.
out of water. So that is one thing that we want to look at today in our conversations. We plan to cover a lot of unpopular kind of opinions at this table, and here we are just sharing experiences and learning from each other and trying to be better for it. So, Fynnba and Gyasi, welcome again to Mangwasi and to the table.
Yay, we're
Yes.
so
Yeah.
excited to be here.
So, but before we get into it, I want we just know a little bit about you guys.
Yeah.
I was going to say ladies first, but I'm not going there. I'm just going to toss the coin and let it, for where it may.
Yeah.
So, Jesse, tell us a bit about yourself, what you are up to since the last time you were here.
All right.
And,
right.
yep.
All right. So I'm JC. When was the last time we were here? I think a year
A couple
ago.
of years ago, yeah.
Yeah. So since then, I've been working a lot actually. I have a tour company where I take people to China.
Okay.
I also have a cargo business where I bring your goods from China. So I take you to China and I bring your goods.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so that's basically what I'm doing now. I also have a concrete product. I produce concrete blocks.
Okay.
And since then, I've been in a relationship with this amazing woman.
Since when? Give
Since
the
then, okay,
proper
I was
timeline.
still in a relationship with her then, but
Yeah.
we've still grown together a
Together,
lot
right.
as a couple.
Yeah.
And I think this conversation is going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I have a lot to share
Sure,
on the
exactly.
topic.
Excellent,
And
excellent.
yes,
Well, good
that's
to
it
have you back,
about it.
and good to see that things are progressing since the last time you were here. Business is doing well,
Yeah.
and I think we'll plan a trip to China very soon.
Yes.
Just go check it out and
China
see what
with
is going
JC.
on.
Yeah,
China
yeah.
with Jesse.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you need to do any trips to China, business and stuff, you know who to talk to. Jesse
Yeah.
is here. DM me, and I'll put you in touch. And then the lady of the hour,
Yeah.
Fynnba is in the house. Yeah, let's hear Fynnba. What have you been up to lately, and what is happening? What is going on with you?
So lately, I've been trying to set up my fitness brand called
Okay.
Fine Motion because this year I decided to get into the fitness world and I love this now. It has become a part of my lifestyle. And one of the things I always heard people say was the fact that they loved the pieces I would wear to the gym,
Okay.
right? So having the opportunity to go to China many times, I decided to scout for some of the best materials for gym wear, and thankfully I've been able to get my first designs,
Okay.
which would be launched June 15th. Aside that, I am still going strong on the content creation. I do travel and lifestyle mainly. I still have some brand partnerships. In fact, it feels like I have a 9 to 5 with some of the partnerships
okay.
because I'm on salary all year, and then
Okay.
by the next year it's just renewed.
Renewed,
Yes.
okay.
So I think that is not doing bad as well. The
Yeah.
content creation, social media,
Yeah, and all that
what
stuff.
else? Yeah, I think that's the summary.
Well, it's so good to hear that. So, guys, here again, June, mid-June, is that right? June
Yes,
15th?
yes.
It's going to be Fine Motion. Fine
They're
Motion.
going to be in motion.
Right? So, we will be looking forward to that launch, and we wish you Godspeed. I know you're going to blow it out of the water.
We're
So
gonna sell out.
sell it out. So, guys, please make sure you support Fynnba in her quest to get Fine Motion going. So now let's get back to the topic. Today we are talking about relationships. So we mentioned about why it takes two to get into this cheating industry,
Exactly.
if I may put it. But it's always the male who is like bashed. And I think if I explain it, I'll let you do it again just in case we missed anything because of the audio. Why is it that you women will hide your naughty friends when they do this stuff, and then blame the man for doing that, when in some cases even the woman who is, getting things to the stage where it becomes consummated or something. So there you go.
So first of all, I'd like to start by saying you don't have to put honey on everything. That's not what I would like to start by saying. But I'd like to start by saying it wasn't always the case that women were calling out men, because in the olden days, it was sort of enabled that, oh, as for a man,
yes.
he would have multiple partners, right? But then in the olden days too, there were so many things that the women just had to take because of certain situations.
Right.
So as time went on, women got educated. Women saw that it doesn't have to be this way.
Right.
I too can, if I decide to commit and not cheat,
Yeah.
and we take a vow, we agree, and you decide to do it, then I'm going to call you out, because in the past it feels like women had sort of been like oppressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so now, and usually what happens with oppressed groups is they like to be loud because they are oppressed.
Okay,
I feel like that's the psychology behind it.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
like it's more like
Interesting.
they feel like, yeah, this is something that were being done to their mothers, but they don't want to take it. So
The
it's like
same, yes.
when you do it, then they want to pay you back, sort of, and like make the whole world know you're good for nothing. Even though, yes, you cheated with another woman.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the psychology behind it.
Yeah.
And also, I think the reason why when a woman cheats, maybe like her friends don't really say it, or the men are quiet about it, is because I feel like women are kind of smart when they are cheating. Like they are not all over the place.
Exactly.
Secondly, the men too do not want, it's more like a social, JC, like men don't want to be known
Men
as
help
the
women
ones that
hide
got
the cheating.
Yeah,
cheated on.
exactly. By protecting themselves.
Yes, they don't. Yeah, so they'll be quiet about it.
About
But
it,
with
yeah.
women, when they come out and they say they got cheated on, they
Yeah.
get sympathy from everyone. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's
Everyone.
just,
Everyone.
yeah.
You know? So what do you think, Jesse?
Okay.
What is your take?
My take is with cheating, with respect to cheating, in our current like world, right? With men, if you're a man and you get cheated on, it's like an embarrassment to you.
Okay.
Who got cheated on?
Not the woman.
Not a woman. Exactly. It's like, yo, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Maybe you're broke. Maybe
Yeah.
you're inept. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's more about you.
You. Yeah.
But with a woman, it's more about like a man that is being unfaithful.
Yeah.
Like wanting more than
Yeah.
he's supposed to have. You know.
Exactly.
So that's the whole thing around it. And with respect to women hiding their cheating, I feel like men just help women hide cheating. You know,
Yeah.
if you are cheating with a man, he would be like out of the way. You know.
Yeah,
But
that's
when you're
true.
cheating with a woman,
Sometimes she can go to your wife
Why?
as a woman.
You're in trouble. Oh. It's like,
Exactly.
Men would go out of their way just to keep it under wraps. But I saw something some time back where the man was saying, my side chick is just so upset and not, making life difficult. So much so that I want to go tell my wife.
That's so funny.
I want to go complain to my wife because my side chick is making it so difficult for me.
Yeah.
But no, it's something that society does. And also, I also saw somewhere that says that when we were growing up, we never heard anything about our mothers, the females in our community.
Yeah.
But when our fathers, we knew everything about fathers, children,
Having extra
stepchildren,
children.
and stuff. But some of our mothers had their own stuff going on, but we never knew it. You know? Meanwhile, their friends and whatever knew it, but they kept it under wraps. Or maybe your father might know,
but
your uncle might know, but
you just keep it under wraps.
just keep it under wraps for the sake of
Saving face.
Exactly.
Also, one thing I'd like to add is I think one reason why men get blamed for cheating a lot is because men are normally the pursuers, right? And men, the dynamics around men getting sex is they have to chase
Put in
it,
effort.
put in effort to get it. But with a woman, all they have to do is just flirt with a man right away and that's it, right? So for a man, he has to maybe sometimes lie to the other woman that he wants to cheat with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not as if the woman is complicit to the cheating.
Yeah.
She-
In some cases.
In some
but,
cases, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, he deceived me too. So
Yeah.
we are both
Yeah,
deceived.
that's true.
Yeah, that's the idea. So that's why I think men get blamed more.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know why you've done this before. You've been in that one.
I'm
Because
just
he's
giving
from
gone
insight.
into
experience,
the
isn't it?
mind of cheater.
from talking from experience. No, but also you make a good point. But there are some cases where
Yeah, JC, do you want some more? I'm
fine.
full. Yeah.
good where women initiate.
Yeah.
There are some cases where there are some women who corner you, who put you in situations where if you are not disciplined enough
No,
as a
once you
man,
add it to the tea.
Yeah, I've
You
even
can-
heard that there are certain women that once they see a ring on your finger, that's when they are turned on. That means
I've
that's
heard
a
that.
responsible man.
you see, yeah, you are grounded,
Yeah.
you are stuff like that. I mean, there are cases in my experience, like going to school in the US and stuff like that, where you feel pressured, you know.
To
So
cheat?
to yes.
Oh, really?
I won't say cheat to engage in intimate kind of romantic kind of stuff, because maybe in my time at that time I don't even think I was so serious with my schoolwork. This only thing, eh?
We need to know. I'm trying to get him to watch his sugar
Keep it
intake.
low, yeah.
Yeah.
To cut back.
I don't want us to wait till we are much
Last
older
minute, you
before,
see,
yeah. Because the sugar does a lot of. Okay, but
yeah.
I
No, so
digress.
there are situations where you find yourself in that state where you have to be very careful. If you are not disciplined enough, you can easily fall into that, you know. So I've seen it, but now it's changed a bit, because I've been talking to young guys who come here and all that stuff, and they will tell me they are very much guarded and hesitant to initiate, you know. So if the woman doesn't put out the effort, some of these guys
Yeah.
will
It's true.
push back. will
Because
sit
right
back.
now you can just go and talk to a girl, and now it's like, hey, this guy is
Yes.
a cheat. And everybody's
Exactly.
pointing at you, even
Exactly.
though you haven't.
Yeah.
So every guy is like
I'm
very
seeing
cautious
it
about
a
that.
lot. This younger generation tell me, Miles, we are not. It's like we don't know what to do and we don't know how to approach anymore. I mean, my generation, those days it was easy. You just go, you have some smooth talking, you know, you talk a little bit and just up front you do your stuff. But now it's different. So women may end up being
Women are policing it now.
Exactly. You know, you may end up, doing more than what it is. But let's move on to the next topic.
Yeah.
Talking about cheating. Can cheating be avoided through other means of relationships?
Yes.
Yes, it can be.
Let me hear you out.
Take.
Fynnba.
First off, I feel like I'm still learning new things. I used to be of the mindset that there's only one way to. That's what we were taught. Have a
Survive,
relationship. You have to be monogamous, date, and then marry, and then it's just you and your partner. But like talking to people and seeing what's happening, and I'm someone that is very big on psychology. I realize there's not like a formula to get things done. So you
Yeah.
find that when you try and use the formula of what everyone has done, you could just like end up in something, as opposed to if you decide to actually listen to your partner and talk to your partner.
Yeah.
Then it's like you can just prevent the
Those things.
cheating
Yeah.
based
Yeah.
on the arrangement you guys have.
Yeah.
Because if your partner feels like they can't come and talk to you about some things because this is how your mind is wired and this is how you feel like things should be, then
Yeah.
even if it doesn't happen now, there's
Yeah.
the possibility that maybe one
happen.
day.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very important to constantly talk about
about
your
it, yeah.
relationship with, because I hear people change. Like
Yes.
maybe
Yes.
5 years into the marriage, you will no longer be the person that you once
Yeah.
were. So
Yeah.
that's how I think you can avoid cheating.
Yeah. Society, society has made it such a way that we are boxed in
Yes.
system here, and especially if you are religious, then
Yes.
it becomes more tricky.
Yes.
Um,
Because there's only one way
One
to
way
do
of
it
doing
and
it.
no other.
but we are human. If we are not human, then there will be no cheating. I mean,
Yeah.
the need, the urge to maybe talk to someone else But I also think it's not always about sex or intimacy when people do some of these things. I saw something about this prostitute who was saying that she had been um, she had been in her business, met a lot of guys who just needed someone to talk to,
Yeah.
They were
and they
lonely.
paid, yeah, to just to have that conversation, not for sex. So normally when you see guys going to these places, all you think about is sex. But she was saying some of these guys were so broken that the only thing they could do was to pay to talk to a prostitute.
Mm.
So at times we box ourselves so much that we don't want to be open-minded. And
Especially in our society.
in our society, it's extremely difficult. I've had cases where people have come to me at the very tail end of their relationship, like almost falling apart. That is when one spouse is saying, okay, I'm open to whatever, so far as there are some rules and some structure. So I'm talking about open relationships. In most cases, I've seen that it gets to that last mile, last bit before people say,
And
hey,
if
now
you
let's
had
talk about
already
it. At
spoken,
this point,
yeah.
it's too late. If
It's
you,
too
like you
late.
said, if you had sat and talked about it and have your agreement and disagreements and have the rules and stuff, then you can get stuff going. But at what point, though? At what point do you say, if you are marrying, do you get it? I think I could be wrong, but I think it has to be much later in the relationship.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because me, like I said, there's a lot of things that I was socialized into that I didn't used to question till I got older. So me, I'm monogamous because this is
That's how you grew
the
up.
society. Yeah, exactly. But I'm not saying maybe in future I'm gonna be that is going to change, but I just know I'm someone that keeps learning
Yeah.
And
each
evolving, yeah.
time, evolving. So
Yeah.
at every point in
Have a
time,
spoon.
Spoon, yeah. Spoon, why?
at
Rich.
every point in time, I'm constantly asking myself, okay, how do I feel about this situation?
Yeah.
Is this something I want to do? Well, I
Yeah.
have conversations with myself and then with my partner
Yeah.
when necessary. So, I mean, I feel like open relationships come into play because of certain situations or like you never know what happens in life while
Yeah.
you're, let's say for instance, your spouse has to travel and be away for long. In such a
Yeah.
situation you can decide, you know what, I don't want him to be lonely, or I don't want her to be lonely. Let's discuss this. What can we do?
Can you
There's
do?
the possibility that maybe they might meet someone. What
Yeah.
are the
The
rules?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think, I feel honestly, I feel like if you right from the beginning you want to be in an open relationship,
Yeah.
then maybe just don't get married. Just be in your
Okay,
open
okay,
relationship
okay.
and maybe live together.
Okay.
But I feel like marriage is for people that are sort of like following in society steps.
So, yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
a reason, I feel like there's a reason why things are a certain way if you decide to follow institutions.
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
you're going to follow the institution and right
Right,
from
yeah.
the beginning, you want to start with
Yeah.
an open relationship, I think that there's a bigger question.
Yeah.
Like you guys are not really having the right conversations, because
Yeah.
usually the thing is, I feel like I know some people that are in open relationships currently. They are not people that plan on getting married because
Okay.
they have
Okay.
had the honest conversation with themselves and they've seen that
Yeah.
marriage is just going to draw them back and they are happy maintaining the open relationship and whatever.
Yeah.
If at any point they want to change it, then it means
Yeah.
that I just feel like the
I think it's
open
on-
relationship
it's on-
conversation is not, it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
I've never tried it before, but I can see how it could be easier said than done.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
feel like if you want to go by societal standards and
yeah.
get married, starting with open relationship is just like your priorities
Yeah,
are
yeah.
Yeah.
yes. But however, if you are in the marriage and at some point it's necessary for you to do that just to keep maybe your
things
marriage
fresh,
alive or something, then by all means you should you decide how you want your marriage to be.
Yeah.
You know.
Because even in marriage, at some point, it's not.
I should have one shot.
Yeah, the mosquitoes.
I'm
right?
wearing my trousers.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I'm not. Yeah. No, I think you make a solid point. At that early age, at that early stage, if you want to do that, then you might as well
Marriage
just
is
back
not,
off.
yes,
Exactly.
that's not
Yours.
for you.
Yeah.
And no one
Yeah.
is judging you,
Judging
but
you,
like
exactly.
just be in your
Yeah.
open relationship.
But
and
a question then is, do you think we as humans are meant to be with one person for the rest of our lives?
Big
I
question.
feel like that thing is something you find out as you do life.
Yes.
Because me, I was of the opinion that yes, you are meant to be with one. Not that I believe in soulmates or anything, but I was
Yeah.
of the opinion for the longest time that one day you meet someone and then you spend the rest of your life with. But I've come to realize that life is not just about romantic relationships even.
Yeah.
Like you have to invest in your friendships. You have to invest in things you like. So it's like trying to bottle everything
Everything
into
at
one
one
romantic
together.
partner and letting the partner
Yeah.
serve all
All
those.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's
Like
insane.
even you
Yeah.
as a human being,
Yeah.
life can get so crazy
Crazy.
sometimes. You
Yeah.
need to try different things and the outlets. I feel like it's just unfair
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
think that you
Yeah.
as a person just need one person
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
However, back to society, because me, I
Yeah.
have to say this. In the society we find ourselves in, especially if you are religious, we are taught the right thing to do is find that one person and do life with forever because
Yeah.
you guys become one.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry to say, as I've gotten older, I've realized that that's some BS.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, it's societal norms.
yeah, it's
that has
societal
been
and
put in
it's
place.
unhealthy to put
Yeah.
that much
Yeah.
pressure
Yeah.
on another person. So personally,
Yeah.
for me,
Yeah.
I'm still finding out, but I know that it's not just
Just
one.
one,
Like you
yeah.
need the friendships, you need.
Yeah. And I go back to this point again of, or maybe let me ask this question: can you have more than one soulmate?
I have the answer, but I want Gyasi to talk too. Or should I answer?
Can you have more than one soulmate? I think you make whoever the soulmate is, whoever it is. Obviously, there are a limited number of people that you have a certain vibe with.
Yeah.
Obviously, based on whether your interests align, based on even if you have the same upbringing and stuff like that. So, yeah, there are a number of them out there, but
Yeah.
not just one.
Yeah.
But I have a different opinion.
Okay.
First of all, I don't believe in soulmates. I
Okay,
believe
alright.
you choose someone and decide to make that
That
person
person a
the
soulmate.
right one for
Okay.
you, because that's how come people break up their new relationships. So
Yeah.
like that means that time that you were saying that other person was your old soulmate. Like what
Yeah.
happened? So
Yeah.
me, I don't really believe in the term soulmate.
Okay.
I think soulmate means one person. So the moment it's
So-
No, but you know,
Yeah.
when you say soulmate
So,
in
yeah.
the
You mean
context
somebody
of
whose soul
society,
and
you
yours
feel
are meant to be
yeah.
together.
But
So that's
I'm
one.
trying to say that thing is just a construct too.
It's a
You can
construct, yeah.
today, God forbid, but if you and I don't work out, it will shock you that I'll go and meet another person, vibe with the person,
Yeah.
you know. So it's just you deciding, because obviously, even when you're with someone you love, there's other things that like you will not like, but it's you deciding you want to make things work with
with
that
this
person.
person,
So
yeah.
for me, the answer is yes. You can't have, and the only thing that holds us from like having multiple people, I don't even want to say soulmates, is discipline. That discipline we
Discipline,
spoke
yeah,
about
yeah,
earlier. Like
yeah.
you know what, if I'm with this person, I want to
Be
give
with
them
this
the
person, yeah.
respect.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
if
yeah.
at any point in time I feel like, oh, you know what, I met this person and this and I want to discuss. But
Yes.
that thing where people want to act like one person,
Yeah, that's like,
it's not true.
It's
I
not.
believed it once, but
yeah, it's tricky. But then talking about soulmate, I believe you can have multiple soulmates. But there are different classifications. You can have a platonic kind of soulmate. that you have close bond with.
First of all, what is a soulmate? Can you
A soulmate
explain so that?
can be, from my point of view, it can be someone you have a close, intimate relationship with, one, and also someone you have just a bond with that is not intimate or that is not romantic. That's what I'm saying. It could be a platonic
friendship, yeah.
kind of relationship. That too can be classified as soulmate. There are some friends who are so tight, very, very tight. And in fact, I see that here quite a bit where, you know, two genders come and very, very tight, but it's non-romantic. So you can have both stuff, and and in some cases, one person can fill a gap that another person doesn't feel. You see what I'm saying? So maybe my wife, I have a good relationship with her. Maybe sex and everything is good, but maybe communication or maybe emotional um, support might not be as good.
Yeah.
It could be more. It could be other things, but soulmate is not strictly romantic. The way we've been programmed to believe that soulmate is always romantic.
For me, it's not even that per se, but I think the understanding I had of soulmates in the past was someone, whether friendship or romantic, someone that is meant for you, like is destined for you. Like that. Oh, this person is my soulmate. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say. JC, do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
That was like for the longest time.
Yeah. That's like someone who's destined for. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm
So
also, do you
that
know
understanding
why?
of soulmates is just
But
one
do you
person
know-
Yeah.
that you just meet and you're like, wow, this is the
is it.
person that was supposed to be with. This is the person that was made to be with.
Yeah.
That's the idea of a soulmate.
Yeah.
But I think anything else is not really a soulmate.
Soulmate, yeah.
But well, okay.
That's what it is.
Hold on, let's look it up. Let's look it up.
Because I'm beginning to find that people are really disposable.
Yeah.
It's something that I'm learning the older I get.
Yeah.
So now I'm finding it hard to believe in that soulmate thing. And relationships are a lot of work. Like you put in the work to make sure that you're communicating and things are fine. So
Yeah.
the soulmate concepts that I know about does not. It feels contradictory.
Well, this
For
is what
me,
I have. It
yeah.
says soulmate is a person with whom you share a profound natural affinity.
Okay.
While most community thought of as an ideal romantic partner, it can also refer to deeply platonic friendship or professional bonds characterized by intense mutual understanding, comfort, and trust. Modern perspectives on the concept of soulmate breaks down into several key dynamics.
Oh,
and then it
okay,
goes
okay.
on
So
and
like
on.
you guys were saying,
Yeah, so it's I think it depends on,
Yeah.
but for most people it's like, oh, it's
yeah,
romantic.
romantic,
But
yeah.
it's not. I mean, so I mean that's how I see it.
Yeah, and I read this article a while ago, right, talking about soulmates, and apparently the article said that you only meet your soulmates from the ages of 18, romantic soulmates, from the ages of 18 to 22. After that,
Okay.
nobody else can properly become your soulmate.
Soulmate.
Because at that time, you are more like innocent.
Okay.
And both people meeting up may probably be both innocent. So they may have that like extreme devotion towards each other. But the more you grow, the more you understand that those kind of bonds may be just fleeting and
Then me, I
so you
didn't
don't
meet my.
yeah, that's the thing. So around that time, so I think soulmates requires, as I said,
Yeah, but
some
I get
form
what
of
you're
innocence
yeah.
and mutual trusting.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I get it.
So once you've grown past that,
Yeah, you
soulmates
become
can-
like me. That is breaking it down. And
They're
then,
saying that
yeah.
soulmates don't really exist. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That is quite
But I mean,
interesting.
it can be a metaphor for people you share deep bonds
Bonds
for.
with,
That
yeah.
I'm willing to.
Accept, yes,
Yeah, but
exactly.
not like the old definition and
Yeah,
meaning
yeah,
that's, yeah.
yeah. There's this one person that's just for you and stuff like
Yes, uh-huh. That part, that was my problem with the soulmate
that.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see. I see. No, this is a very very interesting topic that So from what I'm hearing here, is like those of us on this table are very liberal
Yeah.
in our thought process. We are
Mm.
not boxed into like the traditional
Yeah.
ways of
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
and where it might help the relationship. You are willing to look at other options and possibilities,
Yeah.
to make sure it works. But I'm sure, I mean, some of people listening will say, no, 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 no. But then he made also a good point, that's saying that it's easier said than done. Um, I'm not sure. You know,
Do you know why I'm saying that?
uh-huh.
The thing is, when you've grown up knowing a certain thing all your life,
Yeah.
for you to be able to venture into something you do not know anything. For
Yeah.
example, let me give a practical example. Let's not use dating, because dating is something that is very forgiving as compared to marriage.
Right, yeah.
If you are in a marriage, you have a lot to lose.
Yeah.
If your partner decides not to be as liberal, or they try to be liberal, but deep in their hearts they are not liberal.
Yeah.
So let's say you try and do the whole open, someone who has been monogamous, let's say you've not cheated before, you've not even thought of having a partner and going out, and then now you're like, oh, your partner says, let's try an open relationship to like bring some spice or something. You care so much about your partner, so you're willing to give it a try, right? And then you go out there with all the rules and all, but because you were socialized to be monogamous, the moment you go out and you start forming a bond,
Yeah.
there's that risk that you can form, not that you form the bond and leave your partner, but it can
Yeah.
stir up something if you
You
don't know how to
Yeah.
see that,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
this is my partner, and then this is just someone. And also
Exactly.
sometimes it might not even be your partner.
Yeah.
That other person your partner is with, once the person, like, your partner has a soft spot for that, the manipulation in
Yeah.
relationships are crazy.
How do you, how do you
What
translate
she said
this?
is really true.
True, yeah. But how do you translate this to polygamy? So, how do men with multiple wives in our society
Good.
not have this issue
Do you
of
know why?
bond and
Do you know why?
jealousy
Do
and
you know
all?
why? Because all the women have already been socialized to be okay with it.
Okay.
You see,
Okay.
if we were in a society where people understood, oh yeah, sometimes,
Yeah.
let's say JC is married, but if he's out in the streets and forming a bond, maybe the next person can just say, oh, they are in an open marriage, or then everyone is like, oh, okay, not ish. Why
Yeah.
are they in an open marriage? Like,
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
saying, and we live in a very judgmental, let's
Society,
be
yeah.
very honest, even this, all these things we are saying, someone
Yeah.
somewhere will be watching and be saying age.
Yeah, yeah.
But you've not yet gone through that
Yeah.
journey. So you will say age because
Yeah.
they've told us this is the only
How it
way.
is, yeah.
But me, the older I get, the more I see, like, especially when I see people that I thought, wow, this was like such a beautiful union, or like this is such a beautiful marriage, and then I see that they are divorced, and then it's not like I'm so shocked, but I see that life is not what they told us. It can
Yeah.
happen to anyone.
Yeah.
Do you get it? So it's
Yeah.
good not to be on your high horse and feel like,
Yeah,
as for
They're better
you,
than that.
yes,
Yeah.
as for you, you're this, you're that. And this is why there's an unspoken rule in like the female community where we say, the moment you go online or you go somewhere, you go and beat your chest and boast about your husband,
yeah.
that's the moment
Yeah. You're tripping yourself.
he will just embarrass you,
Yes,
some
sir.
kind of
Yeah,
embarrassment.
yeah, yeah.
So you see, I feel like these conversations, people are so quick to judge.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
how dare, like, how can they be in an open, or this
Yeah.
person?
Yeah.
So honestly,
Yeah.
as I said, there's not a formula.
Yeah.
And then the women thing is like a conditioning.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why it works.
It works. Okay. And the other thing is that when we talk about these things, it has to be a mutual kind of understanding.
Yes.
But most of the time, people think when this topic comes up, it's the man who
Oh.
wants it.
Yeah.
As for our generation, I think it's different.
It's
Things are
different.
changing.
I mean, yes,
yeah.
they think it's the man, but in some cases, and
It
in
might
most
be
cases,
the
it's not.
woman.
It's the woman. But then the other question is,
Oh, but in our part of the world, I would say that if you pick a sample size, most times men are more liberated than women in this
yeah.
part of the world. So
yeah.
that is why
Yeah.
it seems like it's mostly the men.
men, yeah.
Yes.
Um,
So
Yeah, it's very true. But even that, I don't think our men here are so much into this topic. Of
yes,
open.
yes, they would rather cheat
They would rather
because
cheat.
you
Okay.
can't. If you meet a woman that you really love as a man, deep down you know you're not really
Yeah.
monogamous in nature, but this is the society.
Yeah.
Do you really want to risk? Not that I'm saying it's
Yeah.
right, but do you really want to risk telling the woman that you love that you want to marry that you know what, I love you, but I also want to have my freedom. So
Yeah.
can you? No, you just perform
keep
what you
quiet.
have to do,
Yeah.
and then when you're in the marriage and you can't do it anymore, then that's when you'll be out
Outside,
embarrassing.
cheating and stuff
Yes.
like that. But why is it that
And same for the women. It's not
Yeah.
only the men.
yeah, why is it that the men get away with these things? What okay, who told us or who made it that men can be polygamous but women cannot?
The patriarchal system. Very good question.
Who because you hear,
yeah,
oh,
so
men
I'm
are
come
like
to
that.
tell you-
Men do that.
Yes, I'm come to tell you what it is.
Go ahead.
These conversations, me and my friends, we have these kind of conversations all the time.
Yeah.
So we've just lived in a system where the powerful dominate, so they make the rules. And
Yeah.
for the longest time, it was the men. So
Yeah.
men dominate, they make the rules, they are allowed
Yeah.
to do this, they are allowed to do that. It's recent times that now women have become vocal, and now you see women saying, I don't want to get married. I don't want to to have kids. In the
Yeah.
past,
Yeah.
how
How
dare
dare
you?
you?
Do you get to? So it's systems that were put in place, and now it's not just the men but the
Yeah.
women. Like
Yeah.
it's called, some like to term it as internalized misogyny. You know, growing up, they tell us like when you have a boy versus a girl, the way they are brought up is not the same. You have them telling the girl to learn how to cook, else how she take care of her husband, how she'll not get, and then the guy on the other hand, he's encouraged to play, learn, and become rich. So it's like right from infancy, it's already in your head that as a woman, yours is to just, eventually marry and take care of your home. But like the men are encouraged to do more. They'll tell you, have money.
Yeah.
Everything will come to you. Like sometimes there are even interviews where you see the host say, oh, this man there, he's not for one woman. It's just in our society, so I just think it's something that was there, that was like passed down.
And why do you think men are like that? I mean, I mean, it's something that was passed down, but why did we do that? Because today we're talking about the animal kingdom.
Yes,
we're talking about some of these chimps and all that stuff, where the females are very domineering and demand intimacy.
Yes.
So it's a human thing, but for some reason we manage to make it look like it's only a man thing.
Yeah, it's not. So I was getting there. It's not all. Let me let you talk.
Alright, so my take on all of this is, I feel like in society, that's what I was saying, there's constraints. Okay, so I feel like when men tend to dominate because, well, men were stronger, obviously, and normally the strongest set the rules, but I think monogamy also came as a result of inheritance. Okay, so some societies, like maybe their inheritance system is quite different.
Yeah.
But in the patriarchal inheritance system, because you want to know the kids that are legitimate, even in because you want to know the kids are legitimate, the women are forced to be with just one man.
Yeah.
Right? And the man goes to work and okay, this is my wife.
Yeah.
She's not with anybody else, so I can leave everything to I'm not
Right.
taking care of someone else's spouse, right?
Yeah.
But with in the account, even when there's the inheritance was matrilineal, it still revolves around the fact that only a woman knows
yeah.
their kids.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
so I
yeah,
think
yeah.
all of those things are based on inheritance systems, right?
Yeah.
How to specifically determine who your offspring is.
Right.
So that's what created the structures in society that
Yeah.
force women to be more, you know. But in the account setting, women are not natural local account setting. Women are not actually monogamous. Do you know that?
Yeah.
No, but even in the
Yeah.
past,
In
women,
the past, women are not.
were
And
not.
that is
Women
why-
had other kids with other men.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That is
In the
why.
account system, women are
That's
not
why we
monogamous.
say the woman knows.
The kids.
If women are not cheating, then why would we have that system in the account that says only the woman
Woman
knows
the kids.
The
So-
kids.
but
It's only
nobody
true.
said women were not cheating.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just in general sense that maybe we don't even call it cheating. Maybe it was an open, at some point, like
Yeah.
more open kind of,
Actually, patriarchal society was brought to us by colonization.
yes.
Yes,
I
I was
can't believe
about
that.
to say
You
it.
hit a nail on the
I was
head.
about
Yeah.
to say it
Yes,
when
it
you
wasn't our
finished.
thing, you know.
I was about to say
Because
it.
my grandma, she gave birth with multiple men.
You see?
She just
There
chose
you
the
go.
man that I want to have your kids.
Shoots, and then she goes for it. I think we need it back.
We need it back, right?
You, I want your kids.
But
Yeah.
you see, now, because we live in a religious society
Yeah.
that determines everything that happens in the country,
Yeah.
it will be very hard to. Maybe it's just the minorities
Yeah.
that would be doing that, but majority are going
I
to
mean,
follow.
people do it undercover and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think we'll get a peace of mind if we allow people to be people.
Yes,
Just
but
leave them
people are
alone.
hypocritical and
That's the thing.
judgmental. So
That is the thing.
You know what was actually very well? I think the whole societal change is just too generational, actually. The
Yes.
strict patriarchal system in Ghana is just too generational.
Yeah.
Their generation
Yeah.
and maybe part of our generation.
Yeah.
Over time, maybe it may
Yeah, it's
change.
going to it's going to
Yeah.
fade.
Yeah, it's
because
going
if
to
you look at it, even look at like you talk about the accounts, the women are very powerful.
Yeah, very.
The women are very
Very
powerful.
well.
Even selecting a king and a chief and all that stuff, the women have a say
Say.
because they know
They know the
where
kids.
all the stuff, hidden stuff are, or where all the cobwebs and all that stuff are. So
Yeah.
you've really, you've made a good point. Bringing that history into this conversation, where our grandmothers had so much power and could do things. Because looking at even my grandmother too. My grandma,
The women were actually non-monogamous.
yeah. My grandma had children from
Different
stuff.
men.
Was it really marriage? Because at that point it,
It
wasn't.
wasn't. It was- For me, my grandmom, before she had my dad, right, she was like, nah, I need a male son from a Kratchi.
Thank
an
you.
educated man.
Thank you.
So she followed him all the way to the north to have that child.
You
Had
see?
3 girls and then decided to have a 4th and after stopped.
Colonialism has done us
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah,
Because
It's a shame
now
society.
it's the women cannot initiate. That's what we've been brought up to believe. But looking back, it wasn't like that.
yeah.
The women pursued,
Yeah.
and the men pursued as well.
Oh, yeah.
So honestly, this topic has really moved into something else that I did not, and that is why the conversation, the healing table conversation is such a powerful thing because you learn so much, and already, I mean, this has really opened my eyes in our, traditional sense. So let's go out there. Let's do the best we can do. Learn from our tradition.
But I have a question. I have a question, right? You see, earlier I was reading something a friend shared with me. What do you think about the institution of marriage?
I think
As
it's,
someone that has been married long enough.
I think it's just structures that has been put in place to make sure that you mentioned inheritance,
Yes, yeah.
taxes, and all that stuff.
Exactly.
All comes
They know how
into
to
that.
track
So
it.
do you
Yes.
do you find that in today's world, like the way things are, marriage is just like a ball of contradictions? How it's advertised and how it actually goes.
I will not say it's a contradiction if it works for you. You know, there's some people marriage really works. You know, there are good marriages out there. There are a lot of good marriages out there. We always say about the bad stuff and the cheating and stuff, but there are good marriages out there. And so I will not say it's a bad thing. I think it helps structure society in a way that you know where everybody belongs and stuff like that. You know, it is believed that my great 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 grandfather, who was an Asante king, had over 500 kids,
What?
all the way back to Sierra Leone.
That's crazy.
They called me a womanizer. But guess
King
what?
Solomon.
King Solomon. But you know what he said? He said he didn't like going to
That would
wars.
be one my great grandfather too.
You see, oh, we could be family.
Yeah.
He said he didn't want to go to war. You know that Ashanti's always fighting and
Yeah,
killing and all
yeah.
stuff. He said, for me, I'm not going to war. I'm going to have as many kids across. So I'm not, when I'm going to fight, I know I'm going to fight my own children or my own blood. So no fighting. So he encouraged the people to go
Make
out.
love, don't fight.
Charlie, make
Love,
love,
not war.
love, not war. So, you know, spread. But then
I think that's how peace is maintained.
Charlie, and that's what they've been there.
And that's what King Solomon was doing.
Western civilization, they were marrying their princes
Yeah.
and so just to
prevent
keep,
war.
you know. So this guy was way ahead of his times, but the people said, you have to fight. So they stood him. After a while, they said, no, you're a womanizer, you have to go. You know, so that is also an example of how history plays into some of these things. You'll be sitting there saying the guy is a womanizer. He is saying that
That's his
I don't
point.
like war, so I'm going to have as many kids as possible. You know, when I heard this story the first time, I said, "Oh, Charlie, my uncle was really bad, oh, Charlie." You know, but later when I sat and I looked at it and I thought about it, it's okay, it's war or children. Which one do you want? I would take children over war. You know, so. Yeah, I mean, we have history to back most of these things. We just have to really delve deep into it and understand how it plays into today's society. And I think, like you said, we seems to be heading back some way in that direction. The only thing that seems to hold us back is religion.